Bayern Munich demanding £60 million for the double signing of Matthias de Ligt and Mazraoui. McTominay bid rejected, and West Ham being told you have to pay 18 million or no Wan-Bissaka. These are some of the stories we will be discussing on this evening's show. But before we get into that, please smash a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight on into it. So I want to start the show off today by talking a little bit about Scott McTominay, because Manchester Evening News are reporting this evening that apparently Galatasaray have now officially pulled out of the race to sign Scott McTominay. The Manchester Evening News are reporting that Manchester United have just rejected a £17 million bid by the Turkish giants. It also says that another bid was put in a couple of weeks ago for £12.8 million. The thing with this McTominay deal is, right, we know that Manchester United aren't desperate to sell McTominay. We know that he's only going to go. The magic number is apparently 25 to 30 million pounds. That's what's been reported by The Guardian. Man United won't sell him for less than that, which I agree with. You know, he's 27 years of age. He got 10 goals in the Premier League last season. He is a first-team player for Scotland, his national team. Like, I don't think he's needed at Manchester United, but he could go to a Fulham, a West Ham, a Galatasaray, and I think he'd do really, really well there. But he's not going to take a team in the Premier League to the top 4 or above. Like, that's just simply not going to happen. So 25 to 30 million in the current market, I think, is a fair market value. You've only got to look at Emile Smith-Rowe, who's just joined Fulham from Arsenal, £27 million. You look at that and you think, McTominay has to be somewhere around that kind of figure, you know. Emile Smith-Rowe hasn't played football really for 2 seasons. He's been injured, whereas McTominay has been playing a lot of football for Manchester United, getting goals, getting assists, and impacting games. So now it just looks like Fulham are the only team left in the race. There is some murmurs that apparently Tottenham might come to the table, but a bid hasn't been put in yet. It's mainly Fulham who are pushing. McTominay apparently is interested in joining Fulham. That's what's being reported. Personal terms won't be a problem. He's only on about 60k a week at Manchester United, and Fulham have some people who are earning double that. So he could go to Fulham, get a big contract, big wages, and I think he would be quite happy there. He'd start every single week, and it probably is his level, to be honest. You know, he is a Premier League player, but I don't think he's a Premier League player for a club that want to be in the top 4. And that's my opinion. Maybe you disagree. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. How much would you sell Scott McTominay for this summer? Get your thoughts in. Moving on from that, though, I want to talk a little bit about Aaron Wan-Bissaka, because the story coming out this evening from, again, Manchester Evening News is that apparently Manchester United have told West Ham they will have to pay £18 million if they want to sign Aaron Wan-Bissaka this summer. Again, I completely agree with that. That's a more than good price for Wan-Bissaka. 26 years of age, one of the best defensive right-backs in the Premier League by far. And for £18 million, they're getting themselves a good deal there. He's got 1 year left of his contract, which obviously brings his price slightly down. But even so, I think we can all agree that £18 million is a very, very fair price. And this will then allow us to go and sign Mazraoui. Apparently, the Mazraoui medical's been booked for Tuesday. That's what's been reported. Apparently, a deal has been agreed. We'll talk about him in a minute. But it is going to be a kind of mirror reflection of what we get for Wan-Bissaka. So around £18 million for Mazraoui and £18 million for Wan-Bissaka. And I'm happy about that. I just want both of these deals to be concluded now. I want McTominay to go and join Fulham. I want Mazraoui to come to Manchester United. And I want Wan-Bissaka to go to West Ham. That's what needs to happen in the next couple of days, because less than a week from now, we play Man City in the Community Shield. And less than 2 weeks from now, we play Fulham in the first game of the Premier League. And we need to make sure that our squad is at full strength, ready for that Fulham game. We need a CDM, we need a centre-back, and we need a right-back. Minimum. That's the absolute minimum. So I'm expecting Ineos to go and work some magic now. I think it will be a very, very big week for the club this coming week, obviously, with the team back in Manchester today. Apparently, they should already be back in Manchester by now. The players who are on the pre-season tour have reportedly got 2 days off, so they won't be back in training until Wednesday. But all the other players who were on international duty are back at Carrington tomorrow. So you'll see Kobe Mainu, obviously Luke Shaw, all the other players who were involved in the final of the Copa America and the Euro. So Martinez, all the others. So there will be a whole load of people in training tomorrow. So that'll be good. And obviously then the rest of the team will be back on Wednesday. So yeah, I'm expecting a big week here for Manchester United. And obviously the deals to keep an eye on at the moment is obviously Wan-Bissaka to Fulham, to West Ham, McTominay to Fulham, and obviously the De Ligt and Mazraoui story, which we're going to talk about right now. So we've had a big update come out from Fabrizio Romano in the last couple of minutes, and he is reporting that apparently Bayern Munich have told Manchester United if they want to sign both Matthias De Ligt and Mazraoui this summer, that a total package of £60 million is required. Now, I want you to give me your thoughts on this. £60 million for the two players. There is a bit of a breakdown that's been put out on the internet, which I'm going to go through with you now. So apparently the breakdown is this: £42 million for De Ligt and £18 million for Mazraoui. Obviously, they've been wanting 42 for De Ligt all window. I think 18 for Mazraoui is perfectly fair, especially if we get 18 for Wan-Bissaka. Like, it's a like-for-like swap. They're both 26. They both play in the same position, and they're both worth the same amount of money. So I've got no problem with that one, to be honest. I think my situation with De Ligt is this, right? If De Ligt comes in and refines the form that he had at Ajax, I think £42 million would be an absolute bargain. It would be an unbelievable signing, because at Ajax, he was a 70, £80 million player. Juventus bought him for, I think, £70 million. And then they sold him to Bayern Munich for about £60 million. So on his day, he is easily a 60, 70, £80 million player, without a shadow of a doubt, you know? But the problem is will Manchester United be able to bring back the De Ligt that we all know and the De Ligt that we all hope? That's the big question, and that's the task for Erik ten Hag. I personally think that we will be able to, and I think that we'll look back at this moment and we will be very, very happy with the signing of De Ligt. I might be wrong. We might be sat here in 6 months and you might be all saying, Kieran, you got it completely wrong. He's been injured the whole time. The worst signing we've ever made. That's obviously a possibility, because the one thing I will say with De Ligt is there is a risk. Obviously, we know his injury record. The quality of De Ligt has never been questioned, I don't think. He is a quality player. The problem has been his injuries. That's really what most people think, right? Like, I don't think anybody watching this video thinks that De Ligt isn't a good footballer. He is very, very good. He's a great centre-back, but his injuries have caused problems for him. But I want you to look at it like this. Over the last 7 years, if you add up all of the games that he could have played in versus all the games he missed, he only missed 7 games a season on average over the last 7 years, which isn't terrible. And if you actually look in recent years, Harry Maguire's missed more games over the last 3 seasons than Matthias De Ligt has. Now, some people might argue, why does that comparison matter? We shouldn't be signing players who get injured. And I get that, I do. But I think the term injury prone is thrown around a lot in football these days. And if you actually look at De Ligt's injuries, a lot of them are different things. It might be a muscle injury, then it might be he's got ill. It's not like he's, had the same injury over and over again that keeps coming back. And, at the end of the day, Manchester United will have a medical department who will do, medical tests and stuff before we sign him. So if he is got an injury, he won't pass his medical. And I know that people's faith in our medical department is at rock bottom, because we seem to keep getting injuries and other clubs don't. And other clubs do, but Arsenal don't seem to get injuries now. Whereas Man United have lost 4 players already in pre-season. We've lost Lenny Yoro, Højlund. We lost Will Fish yesterday. We've potentially lost Wan-Bissaka. I get it. People are asking questions, but I think overall it will be a very, very good signing for Manchester United if we can secure Matthias De Ligt and Mazraoui as kind of a package. It will completely revitalise our defence, and I personally just want this deal to happen now. I don't think £60 million is bad value. If they could get him for less, great. If we could do £50 million combined fee for Mazraoui and De Ligt, I think that would be really, really good business. But if you think that Everton were asking for 70, 80 million for Branthwaite, who, let me just remind you, Branthwaite's currently injured. They wanted 70 to 80 million for one player who's only had 1 season in the Premier League for Everton, who are towards the bottom, who nearly got relegated. Then what is De Ligt's real value? I think we would be getting better value for our money there to get a Mazraoui at the age of 26 and a De Ligt at the age of 24 for 20 million less than what Branthwaite is being currently quoted at. So that's my take on it, but I want you to let me know in the comment section, are you happy with this? Do you think it's a good deal? Let me know your thoughts below. I'm going to wrap the video up here, guys. I will be back live tomorrow at 8:30 for the normal live show. Have a lovely evening, everybody. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Daily Red Devil, and I'll speak to you all on the next one. Bye for now.